Hello and welcome everybody to the final faction introduction video for Urban War. And as the release of 3rd edition comes nearer, the last thing I know is end of November, so ready in time for your Christmas presents. There will be a new rulebook and a little bit later the new game box. Now let's start our final video with the Junkers, and as you can see here, the artwork for Praetorian Guard, Sandrunner and the Legionary, and that Legionary and the Sandrunner are also your compulsory troops along with Auxilia and the usual rules about caliber. So let's have a look at what we have here. We have legionaries and decurions, and that is the Roman touch of this army. Here you can see all the loadouts that the ordinary legionaries can have, from normal combat shotgun guys to a chain gunner, a flamethrower, and an anti-armor lancer. As you can see, these are quite cheap options, and they are commanded by a decurion, and all of these have a neural spike that can be used by a command model like the Lictor to enforce discipline among the ranks. Now the next thing that we have is the Legionary Grenadier, a guy that throws grenades, and the chain gun team. Both are recommended, especially in larger games. If the games get a little bit smaller, I recommend more of the exosuits, which will draw a lot of firepower. But at toughness 6, these guys are really, really good. Now, at the exact opposite of the spectrum, you will have the Auxilia, which will come later. For now, look at the Sandrunners and the Dune Raiders, which are both fast attack options. As you can see, they move 8, respectively 6 inches. And the Sandrunners having thermite lances as an anti-armor loadout, with the animal they are riding getting a separate attack. And the Dune Raiders being essentially quad bikes with combat blades, with grape guns, flamers, and so on. Of course, that also has a decurion, and there is where we come to the aforementioned Auxilia. The Auxilia are the cheap cannon fodder the Junkers use to close in on enemy positions. As you can see, they do not have a shotgun like the ordinary legionary. They only have a combat blade and the battle sheet, and also have the neural spike. These units are commanded by Auxilia decurions, and the final unit in this lineup right now is the Thermite Bomber, something that may or may not be included in Edition 3 rules due to understandable reasons. Now let's go to the elite models. Those are the Praetorian Guard. After a Junker has served their sentence, these are all criminals, let's bear that in mind, they become Praetorian Guard, or can become Praetorian Guard. And you have normal, ordinary ones, Hellfire Troopers with grenade launchers, and the Decurions again. As command models, besides the Decurions, you have a Lictor, and the Lictor is the first model with the neural enforcement unit. They can enforce discipline among the ranks of the lower level Junkers. You will also note that the Praetorians do not have the neural spike, so they have a higher morale per se, and they are unsusceptible to Lictor or other enforcement. Now in the command models, we also have Censor Agrippa, Tribune Quintilius, and Aquila Decianus. And depending on which one you choose, for example, if you use Censor Agrippa, the Auxilia Legionaries or Lancers can use his command check. He has a neural enforcement unit as well. The Tribune Quintilius is the Praetorian Guard equivalent, and he appears to not have the neural enforcement unit, but you can pay additional 5 points to pass on a command check. Now finally, Aquila Decianus, he is the dude if you want to use Legionaries, Lancers or Auxilia. So you have no neural enforcement unit on this guy either, but you get a 2+ bonus on morale and rally checks. And that is it for the Junkers, and that concludes all of our faction introductions for Urban War, based on 1st edition, but the same will hold true for most of 3rd edition that is going to come out soon. And as soon as I have 3rd edition in my hand, I will start doing updated tactical guides and an Excel-based army calculator for you. And that is all for today. I will all see you on the next one.